Laura, good morning. Darren, good
Morning,
morning.
Good morning.
morning. Thanks for joining us. Lots of conversation about this. As expected, it's all over the newspapers this morning. We're still talking about it, and I suppose we will do until there's some sort of a resolution in this. Harry, how often do things like this happen? And obviously, Harry Kane is such a high-profile player, especially the situation that he's in at the moment. As a manager yourself, have you experienced something like this before?
Yeah, it's similar. I mean, when Luka Modric at Tottenham, it was quite a similar. You know, Luka at Chelsea I think they made him a fantastic offer, and he fancied the move, obviously, but he was under contract, and Daniel wouldn't accept their offer, so he had to stay basically, and Luka got on with it and played, and I think he said to him, "Give me one more season, and we'll sell you if we get the right offer." Obviously, it seems like something like that's happened with Harry, where Daniel said to him, "Look, give us another year." But unless he's got something in writing, unless he's got an actual figure, I mean, Daniel's probably saying, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I will sell you. I'll stand to my word. If I said I'd sell you next year, I will do that. But I'm not going to sell you cheap unless I get the money I want. You're going to have, you're not going to move." And they're within their rights, really, Tottenham, to do that. As much as I love Harry, and he's a fantastic player, great lad, he's in a difficult situation, because if Daniel doesn't get the money he wants, he's not going to suddenly say, "Well, yeah, we love you, Harry. You've been a great servant. We're going to let you go for this amount," when I really want that. He's going to want his full amount of money before he lets him go, for sure.
Harry, has it surprised you a little bit, obviously, the length that Harry Kane's gone to in terms of missing training yesterday?
Yeah, it did, Darren. I must be honest. Yes, you know Harry as well as I do. It's not. You wouldn't have expected that. I'd thought he'd have just turned up and sort of had a meeting with Daniel again. I'm sure his advisors are meeting with Daniel anyway, and got it sorted out. Yeah, I was a bit surprised. I'm sure he'll come in training today when the training starts. But yeah, not the best way to go about it, really. He's so loved at Tottenham. It'd be a shame if that got spoiled. He shouldn't do, because of what he's done and how much he loves the club. But he just feels, I think, now it's time to move. But he's got to go about it in the right way. He's got to, his agents, whoever, have got to sit down with Daniel and try to. But as I say, at the end of the day, unless Daniel gets the money he wants, it ain't going to happen. And if he wants 160 million, if someone's offering 130 million, 140 million, they're not going to get him. Daniel won't budge.
This is a nightmare for Nuno, I imagine. I don't know what would have been said when his contract was agreed and when he came in, but naturally he's going to have to field off questions about this for a long time until it's resolved. But if you're Nuno Espirito Santo, we had Barry Siltman on earlier on that was saying, if I was Harry Kane, I'd just be knocking on Nuno's door every day rather than the chairman, rather than Daniel. I'd be pestering Nuno. If you're a manager, that's the last thing you want, surely.
Yeah, and I don't think Nuno would have he hasn't got the power to, no more than I had the power to. I would have let Luka Modric go. I absolutely loved him as a player, and he's just a great lad. When Chelsea came in, offered to double his money, and he said, "I really would like to go, Gaffer," I'd have gone, "Yeah, fine, okay, Luka, I understand." But I'm not. I don't own the club. Daniel and Joe Lewis own the club, and they're not. They're businessmen, and there's no soft centre with them. They're not going to be like, I would have felt, or maybe like Nuno feels, well, yeah, Harry, look, we understand your situation. Go on and get the move you want, and good luck. That's not going to happen. Daniel's going to, he doesn't have them feelings. It's going to be business with him.
Harry, how will this play out then? Because as you said there, and I know Daniel really well as well, in terms of, if the move doesn't happen, Harry Kane, what, does he kind of just suck it up and have to get on with it? Or can you see maybe Daniel softening a little bit?
I can't see him softening, and the strange thing, I think, that Joe Lewis is quite friendly with the owner of Man City, I know that they were very friendly. I think they were doing some business together a couple of years, a few years ago when I was there, for sure. But they won't budge, that's the fee. That is it. If you don't pay it, he stays. And Harry's just going to have to get on with it. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare for everybody, really, isn't it? But Daniel, as much as people say, well, the player's got all the power, what's he going to do? He's not going to not try. That's not in his makeup. He's going to have to get on. His pride is going to go out there and work as hard as ever. But unless Man City stump up the money, I think they will, in the end, if they want him that bad, they realise that he can take them to win the Champions League next year if they get him. I think that they'll end up having to pay, but they'll have to pay the money that Daniel wants. But I think they will in the end.
We've been speaking to a lot of people on talkSPORT and our pundits as well, our former players, and a couple of people are saying that they think it's a bit unprofessional of Harry because he is under contract at the end of the day. These kind of gentlemen's agreements, I don't know how much they happen. I'm not privy to those kind of conversations either. But is there an element of you, if you were his manager, you'd feel pretty disappointed, or what do you think?
Yeah, well, I think he's got to come in and train. I'd say, look, Harry, you've built such an incredible reputation here at Tottenham. Don't tarnish it. Come in, train every day. Let the powers that be, let your agent, let him deal with the chairman. Let them get on and thrash a deal out. Hopefully they can get it done with Man City as well, whoever it is, and hopefully we can get a deal done. But in the meantime, you're going to have to just come in and get on with your work as you've always done. Come in and be the best trainer at the club and set the example that you've always set to everybody.
Obviously, the flip side of this is sometimes that you want to move players on, you want to offload players. I just wondered if you could shed some light on trying to get rid of Darren Bent.
Do you know what, Harry? I knew this was coming. I could see them plotting something.
I didn't try and get rid of Darren. No, not at all. But,
that was the shortest answer of the interview, though, wasn't it?
The best day I had with Darren, I had a great, when I went to Derby and Darren was there and I walked down the training pitch first morning, I was there after we'd had that bit of a fallout when I said what I shouldn't have said, really, at Tottenham.
Yeah, we remember.
And Darren volleyed one from 30 yards. It was the best volley. I shouted, "Oh, it bent him. My missus wouldn't have scored that one."
And it's all behind you. Just looking into the future a little bit, if this does happen, and it does feel inevitable in a way, doesn't it, that Harry Kane will try and get his move and probably get it, where do Spurs go next? What do you think? Because they're going to have to try and get business done to replace him. And I don't know whether you would have been looking if you're trying to stop him moving. I'm not sure. How does that work?
Well, as much as you wouldn't want to lose him, they've got a new sporting director there, or whatever. Who's going to be responsible for bringing the players in. It looks like he's going to go into the Italian market an awful lot. I think that's the market he probably knows. And it looks like yesterday they were trying to get a boy, I think, from Atalanta to the centre half. They tell me he's a very good player. The people, few people had said that he is very good. So I think they'll spend the money. I mean, listen, sometimes you can lose one superstar and you can go and get 4 really top players in as well, and you can build a better team. So, that'd be quite exciting. They've had Harry, they haven't won nothing. So, okay, Harry moves, we get our money for him. Let's go and bring in 4 players for £30 million or whatever, whatever money we've got, £40 million, and let's see what we can build a team that will be up there and maybe win something this year.
Yeah. Okay, Harry, thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Harry.
Have a great day. And you too. Enjoy yourself. That was Harry Redknapp there. So lots going on at Spurs. We'll try and find out what's going on. Obviously, all eyes are going to be if he turns up to training today, Darren. That is going to be massive.
Can you imagine the amount of cameras that are outside the training ground?
I can't. I mean, honestly, I imagine the world's press is outside that training ground at the moment. It's a big deal, isn't it? And it's a decision that he took. Obviously, as well, we mentioned that centre-back. The last I saw about this, Tottenham's still working to complete Christian Romero deal. So, I mean, that's at one end of the pitch. But if you lose Harry Kane, you're stopping goals going in at one end, but you need to score.
Harry made a good point there, though, in terms of he said that Harry Kane has been unbelievable for them, but they haven't won anything with him. It's not like they're coming off the back of winning several trophies and it's like one of your key components is going.
Yeah,
they haven't won anything.
But if you lose that key man, then your chances of winning anything completely diminish.
You have to rebuild and try again a different way.
A rebuild potentially. Yeah, you might be right there.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.